welcome to my channel. Now this whip and chat is going to be a little bit different. I'm kidding up. I know, I'm insane. This is going to be for the Chuckalong2. Alright, tea, grab your cuppa. Ooh, that's just the right temperature. Okay, yeah, I'm insane. I'm kitting up a Diamond Art Club Chuck Pinson, even though I do have Colours of Life from Dreamer Designs. It's not what I enjoy doing because the canvas is so hard to read. So I want a painting I'm going to enjoy, hence me picking the Diamond Art Club, and it's around, so hopefully I will be able to fly along. I absolutely adore Chuck's work. If I could have his cabins that he paints, I'd be in heaven. Yeah, I will dream. This is 74 by 55, so it's big enough. It's going to count from a point of view of it's not a small painting. So I thought I'd kit up while I jabber with you, and yeah, well, we'll see where we go. Okay, so that's that. Excuse me while I make some noise. I will use this actually. Put that in the top, open its mouth so you can see it's open. I need a bin, and that means I've got to empty my bin. Oops. Sorry while I organize myself. Right, bin for the wrappers, get rid of those. Okay, I think we're getting there. I dug out my canvas this morning. Ow, there's a sharp bit. This is a brand new storage set from Logan Store. I think I've got the link in the description because I really like these. This is my 6th kit from Logan Store. Now, there are 44 colours in this baby. It's going to take me some time to kit up, so busy yourselves with whatever you're doing, and I'll just prattle along as I do. How am I going to do this? Okay, so we'll try and section it off. Now the beauty with the number system on this is you've got your index number, you've got your code, and then you've got your DMC code. What I'm going to be doing is separating the index number, because the index number I'm going to leave on these containers, and then the code and the DMC number are going to be removed when I dekit. Now I don't know how easily these are going to come off, so I may need to get creative with the glue stuff that I use. So yeah, that might not work quite the way I want it to. We'll see how I puddle along. I'll jar up first, and then I will yeah, jar first, and then I will put the drills in. Maybe I'll do a row at a time. We'll see how we go. Tweezers are always handy to separate these stickers. Sorry, I'm off camera. I don't know why I'm off camera, because it seems to be focused on the right field, but anyway, I'll try and keep on camera so that you're not kind of lost and or anything else. But to be honest, today's whip and chat is not going to be something that you necessarily want to watch. It's more something you want to listen to while you're doing your own thing. So there we go. Oh, and I don't need to be opening these. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. And she's clapping hands. She's a funny kid. There we go. With the flat tops on these ones, they're actually quite easy to put the stickers on. There is another kit that you can get, and they've got a kind of domed top. It's only slightly domed, it's rounded more than domed. And that would be a second option that you have. But I don't think you can dictate which ones you get. So I've got 2 of these flat ones now. I think 4 of the domed tops. I prefer the plastic in the domed, as I've told you before probably when I got the kit, but the flat actually works better for the stickers. It's just the feel of the domed top that I prefer. The plastic finish just seems to be that little bit better quality. So these I would maybe suggest would be cheaper. That's all. Alright, you're going to get a bit of clunking as scissors are taken up and put down and that kind of thing. Just as I try and get into the flow of kitting up, because yeah, it just takes a little bit to figure out fingers, hands, who's doing what where, and all that stuff. Alright, now, details of the Chuckalong. Forgive me if I don't get them all quite correct, but I will do my best. You need to go to Mindy Dipple's YouTube. That is Mindy's Diamond Moments. I had her page up. Mindy's Diamond Moment. Okay, I will try and remember to put the links in when I upload it to YouTube. The hashtag is Chuckalong2, so it's going to be put into the banner at the bottom of the screen, just here. Chuckalong2, because there was a Chuckalong in 2019 as well. Now, if you have a Halloween or autumn thingamajig, you can also use it as your drills and chills, and I think that's what Mindy is doing. She was opening a sneak peek. I watched it this morning. She got a sneak peek of Chuck Pinson's new painting. Oh my god, it's the one with the canoes in the front yard in the river, and it's just incredible, absolutely gorgeous. And she is a mean woman. Mindy, you are very mean. The suspense was killing me. 5 minutes into the video and she still hadn't shown the picture. It was just like, oh my god, woman. Yeah, she's really good. But yeah, it's a gorgeous painting and it's huge. It's something like 70 by 90, give or take a few centimeters. So she was saying that she was going to do the Chuckalong potentially with this. She was debating whether or not to use this. She's got every other Chuck Pinson painting in the world. I think she's got them all. But she was debating whether or not to use it, and she was saying that if she uses it and does drills and chills afterwards, then she would be able to use the one painting for the 2 projects. And yeah, just keep going with that. Excuse me, I'm going to need to take a drink. I feel like I've swallowed the scissors. That's not so good. Don't do things like that, kids. So yes, the video on her page is called Smashin' the Specials Week 4. That is where you will get the information on the Chuckalong2. Now, you will also get the information if you join the Facebook group, which is Diamond Moments and Crafts. Crafts being with a K because it's part of Kiss My Crafts, Maritza's team up with Mindy. So Mystria Diamonds is also, so it's Mystria and Mindy who are doing the Chuckalong and Drills and Chills, I think. And it's Mindy and Maritza's Facebook group that you need to go to. If I have forgotten links by the time I get around to doing this, then please hit me up with a comment and I will fix that and I will put it in the description, as well as responding to your message. I want to make sure that everyone who wants to be involved in this can be. The thing is not just running on Facebook, so don't feel that you have to have a Facebook account. I know there are some Facebook phobics out there, or whatever reasons that you don't choose Facebook, which is fine. Do whatever you need to do, but it is on Instagram as well, so please join in. It's the hashtag Chuckalong2, Chuckalong2, if you want to join on Instagram, and you can see what the progress is even if you don't have a Chuck Pinson picture to go with. Drills and Chills last year was, excuse me, hair, anything autumnal or Halloween, and I think I did a graham gherkin. I think I might have done full time. Oh, I can't remember. I know I did graham gherkin. Lover Stroll was my comparison. I did the one, it wasn't Lover Stroll that I did, but I did the one with, did I? With the path. Graham Gherkin's paintings were not huge, so they were nice, reasonably manageable size. I think I did the one with the path, but maybe I did Lover Stroll after all, and maybe I did the original Lover Stroll and then used the China copy as a comparison piece, and ended up doing a bit of a, this is why you shouldn't buy AliExpress, because you don't get the clarity in the picture. So yeah, if you want to see that, and I remember at 11-ish minutes, I might put the eye in there. Yeah, memories. I'm trying to remember where we put markers and things in videos. It's not always successful, and as creators we sometimes miss them, so please be gracious to us. It depends on when I get to edit the video. It depends how much of the video I actually watch. If I know that I haven't got markers through the video to keep an eye on, I will set it up and then just do a straight export without actually viewing through everything. But if I know that there's bits that I either need to cut out or edit, I will try and make a note of the time. But it doesn't always work, and I'm not the only one who has missed trigger points, as you would probably know from watching your creators. Yeah. Alright, this is an early video. I'm actually 2 days early. I usually do my whip and chats on a Sunday, but I'm going to be working on Sunday. Joys. I'm starting work early morning, and couldn't necessarily guarantee being able to sit down and record a whip and chat for the week and do the rest of my videos and everything else that I would like to do. So you're getting me kitting up instead. And this will be going out on the Wednesday, which is actually the 2nd of September, which is the day after Chuckalong gets going. So you're not too late today, the day you're seeing the video. And Mindy was suggesting that if you are interested in Chuck Pinson's new painting that Diamond Art Club have this week, last weekend, that if you buy it, you'll get it hopefully by Thursday if you're in the States, and it's still not too late to join in. So yeah, don't feel like you're behind the 8 ball from the get-go. Just join in when you can. It was interesting when I was going through my stash, which I've never actually shown my diamond painting stash on YouTube. I was going through my box of tricks and canvases. That was a bit of a thing. I actually had stored them right next to me, and because they were kind of encroaching into my room, I was getting less and less space to move. And I decided to move the canvases into what was then an empty room, and then we moved the child into that room, so it's no longer empty. But anyway, the canvases have stayed where they are. and I was going through them months ago and realized that I had one of my boxes that I'd put into the massive box, I think it was a TV box or something, had been orientated the wrong way around, and my paintings were then getting scrunched, so I need to do some TLC to some of the canvases. But I hope I have fixed them and they're not getting damaged by the way that I'm storing them. Yeah, so you might want to check on your canvases depending on how you store them every now and then, just to make sure they're all going okay. Space for reflection, which is what I'm doing, was absolutely perfect. It's been stored upright, you know, packed in amongst the other paintings, and it's perfect at the moment. It's got a ball of wool lying on it. It's probably going to get more damaged by that than anything else. Yeah, but grabbed it, rolled it up, but yeah, pristine. So there's no reason why your canvases are going to get affected by a little bit of storage, and I've probably had it over a year as well. It was one of my earlier chucks that I've bought. So I don't know, no, there's no date on this, so it would have been, so it's got this sticker here, that would have been from about April, May, when they were doing those kits last year. So over a year, and I'm expecting it to be perfect, because I know some people out there are worried that the sticky will fade and other things will happen, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, it's not a small painting, the one that I've chosen, but I have found the rounds fly, although it's chuck, so it's going to be a lot of confetti. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. I really enjoyed doing Who You Say I Am, which is the same size. They're trying to do as many in the same size as they can, I think, because it's easier for framing apparently. So hopefully it will be a similar experience for me. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Alright, so yeah, work this week. I have 7 days starting tomorrow, starting with 2 early shifts, and then it's back to the 9 to 5 kind of thing for 5 days. Yeah, I have been given a date to get a nerve block from my back. I talked to the doctor last week and I said, okay, let's line up getting the nerve block, because I can't live on painkillers for the rest of my life or for indefinite. And he went, you know, this is going to hurt like hell. My other patients have all reported that it's the worst injection you can get in the realm of injections. And I'm kind of thinking, well, living on this without the painkillers is going to be pretty bad. It means I won't be able to work. So yeah, let's just get it over and done with, and if it works, well, brilliant. So yeah, the end of September for that one. Yeah, and the doctor was a bit incredulous when I told him that this morning. Anyway, so the management plan will be that I continue on Panadine Forte in the interim period. My physio strapped my back, and I've never had strapping quite as good as she has done. It hasn't budged a centimetre. The last time I had ever had my back strapped, which is why I was reluctant to get my back strapped on this occasion, it moved, and I think I pulled it off within a day, whereas this time round she's done an absolute phenomenal job. She's a different physio, but she's done a phenomenal job in strapping it. So I've gone and bought all the straps, and yeah, hubby's going to be doing that one. Help. So I got him to take a picture of it the first night in case it moved on me, so that we've got at least a point of reference of how to strap it. And if he does a really, really bad job, and he's a perfectionist, so yeah, if he does a really bad job, I'll just go back to the physio and get her to do it for me. But I'm sure he'll be fine. It's actually, because it's quite a large strap across my back, I had been putting heat packs on. This thing acts like a heat pack, so yeah, it's quite reasonably comfortable with it on. Yeah, and then physio has said a week after that to get in touch with, a week after the nerve block, get in touch with her and we start doing the strengthening exercises. So, oh, that's not going to happen, because if I do get to travel, I'm going to be in quarantine. Joys. Oh dear. I have been doing research on doing this trip and being able to sail, if that's the option that, you know, we were hoping for, which is the option we're hoping for. And I sent a message to, I sent an email to our Premier, who I suppose would be like the state governor in the States, and I said to him, hey Pete, can you fix it for me? Yeah, there used to be a show in the UK. Anyone who's my age will remember this. Jim Will Fix It, and you used to send, the kids used to send a letter into Jim, and it's kind of like, please Jim, can you fix it for me? And this was Jimmy Savile, and Jim would fix it for the kids. He would give them their wish. So it was kind of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation type of thing, but he looked like a rap star, and he was in his 70s. It was all kinds of bad. He would wear these white tracksuits with the red stripes, and he had the white hair, and he had a cigar in his mouth, and he was all kinds of creepy. And I think he actually got done for pedophilia at some point, but he was all kinds of creepy. But he had the show, Jim Will Fix It, and it was really cool. So people would get, you know, send in wishes. Hey Jim, can you fix it for me? Can I be a postman for a day, kind of thing. And, you know, it could be anything like normal like that, or completely extravagant. It was really, really cool. It was a Saturday night or something weekend show. And he used to give these big medallions, because he was all into the gold bling, and yeah. The gold medallions that said Jim fixed it for me. Now he did do Jim Will Fix It for adults too. Yeah, it was really cheesy. My husband's groaning. But yeah, it was really cheesy, but it was kind of like, you know, similar kind of thing. Hey Pete, can you can you do me a favor, mate, old buddy, old pal? So yeah, sent an email to my Premier, right? Get this. Sent an email about 12 o'clock. I got a response at 3. Directly from him. Yes, I was getting there. Directly from him. Now, I have also tried to contact Gladys, you know, old Gladioli up in New South Wales. Trying to get through to her is like trying to get through Fort Knox. Far out. You've got to fill out a page that's anonymous as all hell. It's going to go through her henchmen and 10 more henchmen probably before it even hits old Gladio. Yeah. It's like, bloody hell. And you've got a 20-day response turnaround. 3 hours for my Premier. I was so impressed by him. And, you know, I mean, with Gladys now, I've copied and pasted most of the conversation that I sent to Peter, but, yeah. Just the difference, and there's a stark difference in the information as well on the websites, and it's kind of like, yeah, my Premier has been phenomenal in this whole thing, and the information the state has been given to the people and had available to the people, and we have an arrangement that if I was in New South Wales and wanting to drive back to Tasmania, so drive through Victoria, which is the hotspot at the moment. It's not the only hotspot, but it is the hotspot at the moment in Australia. We can do that if we only stop for fuel. We're not, we don't become affected people by doing that. So we can quarantine in our own home when we get here, and there is a provision that we can get back into the state. Now there's a pass that we need to get here. It's called a Good to Go pass. The Good to Go pass is only current in Western Australia and Tasmania currently. But again, the information is there. Go on to the New South Wales service page and coronavirus information page, and it's so hard to find the information. So I rang up Service New South Wales, or whatever the hell they call themselves, and spoke to a dude there, and he's saying, look, you're going to have to give me a few minutes. And he went off and looks at his pages, and he's going, look, I'm really sorry, you can't. And I said, well, is there somebody I can speak to? And he goes, no. I'm kind of going, well, bugger that. There definitely is people I can talk to. So yeah, went over the civil servant's head effectively and went straight to the governor, except yeah, I've gone through henchmen, whereas I got direct line to Peter, which I know is, Peter doesn't check his personal email. He's going to have a secretary who checks it to see, is this important or not? And the response I got was, this was only addressed last week by the Premier, maybe at National Cabinet. He didn't go into details, he didn't need to, but it was addressed last week because Tasmania is COVID free. And at the moment, the only way for Tasmanians to get into New South Wales without this hoopla is to fly into New South Wales. Well, flying for me with my shitty back, and my husband with his shitty back and all his other, you know, health issues, sore toe and blah, blah, blah. Don't even start on where's sore today kind of thing. Anyway, I'm his registered carer. And then I've got a toddler, right? Traveling with a toddler at the best of times is pram, case, bags, you know, and then there's our bags. It's a logistical nightmare to fly. And then they're saying that you've got to be masked on the flight. You've got to be masked on public transport. I'm dealing with pain medication that's making me sweat like a pig. I'm on perimenopausal, which is making me sweat like a pig. So they want me to mask up as well. I'm kind of thinking, holy crap. Yeah. So I'm going to be a puddle of mess, getting stressed because I've got this face mask on, which we haven't got to wear in Tasmania. So there isn't really an abundance of face masks to purchase here. And the toddler, granted, she doesn't have to mask up, but it means that the stepkid can't come with us because she would have to quarantine on the way back, and her mother's not going to have a bar of that one anyway. So it's the three of us, and then it's either hire a car or go on the train, and again, public transport. So if we were to fly, and again, having to mask up on the public transport, which means that we're in touch with way more people flying than we would be if we were driving in our own cocoon, in our own car. Now, what's happening on the boat, we've got the boat out of Tasmania. There are 0 facilities on board. They have shut everything down. You are to go on board masked in your car. I think they actually provide you with a mask if you don't have one, they said on their site. You are to drive on, park your car, and go directly to your cabin. Do not pass go, do not pass a shop. There are no shops open. They must have no staff on board. They've just, you know, kicked them all off and said, you're not working at the moment. So it's only going to be the, what do they call them, stevedores or something. So, bear crew, and you go to your cabin. The sailing is at 6 in the evening, right? 6 in the evening, which means you either eat beforehand or you eat on the ship, which means that you have to take your food with you. It's got to be cold because you can't reheat it. And again, with a baby, if people have young babies, what are they going to do for heating bottles? Anyway.
Traveling in a pandemic.
Well, there's not many, sure. So, no facilities whatsoever. So from 6 o'clock through to bedtime, 3 or 4 hours later. I don't know what you're doing, Sophie, but you're getting all tangled. So from 6 till bedtime, you can't go out on the deck. Can't go watch the ferry leave or anything else, which is, you know, kind of what you do on the first hour to pass the time. So it's straight in. And you're not allowed to leave your cabin until it's time for disembarking, which means that you then leave your cabin and you go down to the car deck. You get in your car and you drive off. Now, when you get into Victorian soil, our plan was drive 3.5 hours to the border of New South Wales, get across the border, and then have a stretch or whatever else we needed to do, and then continue with our trip. So we were not mixing and mingling with any Victorian who might be all Jeremy with their current pandemic numbers. The numbers are coming down, the deaths are going up, unfortunately. Yeah, so that was the ship plan, which was difficult, but you know, a bit less difficult than the flying option. So yeah, none are going to be fun, and yeah, trying to plan the food. So the other trip, the trip back that we were going to do was supposedly going to be the coast road. So if this is Australia, think of it as a rectangle. Sydney is here in the spout and Melbourne is here. We were going to go this road directly on the way up, and then we were going to go this road on the way down, so it's kind of like two legs. Unfortunately, the accommodation that I picked is just inside the Victorian border, so I think we're going to have to cancel that. And it's also a long drive from that corner across to Melbourne, which means that we'd have to get out of the car, pee stops and all that kind of thing. So that's going to have to be trashed. And we're going to have to come back down the Boring Road, which is the Hume Highway. Stretch our legs just before getting into the Victorian section again. And get our food for the ship 5 hours later. And then drive onto the ship having no contact or minimum contact with anyone there. And sail back to Tasmania, and then quarantine when we get back into Tasmania at home. So drive off the ship straight home and straight into quarantine for 2 weeks. That's the plan. And then we're mixing and mingling up in Sydney for the wedding, and it's like scary as all what? Yeah, I said that. You're not listening. So yeah, the mixing and mingling up in Sydney doesn't appeal because there are outbreaks all over the place. So again, the holiday is not what the holiday was meant to be. So there's a lot to take into consideration. And not being able to have our own safe Tasmanian air in the car kind of cocoon. I'm being silly, but you know what I mean? Not being able to have something we can control, an environment we can control, so we can't sanitize someone else's train seat. We can't sanitize somebody else's car necessarily, although we have been told we might be able to borrow my son's car. But, you know, there's still that element of then fear, because this is a virus that we can't see. Now, look, I understand over in the States you're living with this constantly because you have effectively no borders. Tasmania has a border. It's got a great big moat. We are Fortress Tasmania, just as New Zealand was Fortress New Zealand for a little while, and then it snuck in somehow. Still haven't figured that one out, and I haven't checked the media really to keep up to date with that, but COVID got back into New Zealand. Anyway, we had people bring it in, but yeah, they came in with it and they were in quarantine when they were infected. So, you know, still scary. Hubby's 50 and he's kind of going, 51. He's kind of going, oh, I'm in the age range for, carking it. His parents are even worse. They're in their 70s. She's had the stroke. He's getting frailer by the day. He's 76. And we've watched him in the last couple of months because we haven't seen them for months. Quarantine happened, or not quarantine. The shutdown happened back in February, March, and we said, we're not seeing you. Go away. You stay safe. Don't talk to anyone except on the phone. And then we saw him fairly recently, and then we visited them up at the house, and Marcus is going, his hands were shaking when he was cutting the cheese. And I said he was moving and wobbling, and his walking was all kinds of wrong, and suddenly he has got frail, and it scares the crap out of us, and scaring the crap out of him too, because if something happens to him, what's going to happen? His wife, who's the stroke survivor. I was going to say victim, but she's the survivor. She went in for an aneurysm operation and she stroked, which happens. But, yeah. So, yeah, we've got all of that to consider, and we don't want to put them at risk, or anything else like that. And, yeah, it's quite nervous. I've got a friend who's actually back and forth in Melbourne. He's actually getting, what is it? He's on a cancer treatment trial, or he's on a cancer trial. It's not really a treatment. It's just well, I don't know what it is. It's giving him a bit of a second wind, but it's not actually curing anything. I think it's just an immunotherapy thing, but it doesn't cure him. But he's back up and down every 6 weeks, and I think the first time he went, he got an exemption. The second time he went, I think he mixed with a few more people, and therefore he then quarantined in the hotel without his family being around. I can't fly on my own. Well, I could, but it would mean I wouldn't see Sophie and I wouldn't see my husband for 2 weeks.
3 weeks. Well, a week up there. And...
Sorry, 3 weeks, a week up there, and the 2 weeks quarantine. If I was healthy. And likewise, if I bring Sophie, Marcus isn't going to see her for 3 weeks, and it's like, yes, that's not ideal. Flying. And again, all of us flying, yeah, that's putting a bit of pressure on. I mean, look, in my job at the moment, the way we transport files around, on occasions, is in a suitcase. And those files might weigh anything up to, I think we've weighed it, it's been 30 odd kilos in a case. Now, thankfully they've got new, we call them prams, but they're basically carts. So you've got a basket on the lower level, you've got a second level with another basket in it, and these things spin like a dime, spin on a dime. They're, oh, they had a name. I can't think of the name. It's like 4 letters with an X in it somewhere. Clicks or something like that. And it's a paperwork carrying system. Anyway, we've got these now that, thank God, saved my back. But yeah, pulling the case, even my little case, I'm kind of thinking, oh, this isn't good, because I've got shearing forces happening with my back, and it's like, yeah. So for me to try and push a stroller pram with Sophie in it and pull a case on my own, yeah, my back would not be happy. My back wouldn't probably take that. I'm just not as fit as I have been, and yeah, just from that I probably couldn't go through the trip. hubby's kind of saying, you know, the flying on his back, he's got crushed discs and things like that. The flying from his point of view would be extremely stressful from a mechanical point of view. So again, flying for him is not going to be fun and games. The ferry's not going to be fun and games either. Let's get this straight. So yeah, but they are the things that we're weighing up at the moment. Ferry would certainly be a better option. And my thing is usually get in and get the head down, but 6:30 in the afternoon, kind of evening, is quite early to be getting your head down. And you can, once you're an hour out of Devonport, the port, the waves get quite choppy. And from my point of view, I need to be horizontal before the waves kick in so that I don't get seasick. Unfortunately, the boy that I'm going to the wedding on, he made me seasick when I was pregnant with him. We were on a ferry. Yeah, she was a car ferry. The Lady of Man. Anyone who goes back a ways, this ship, boat, car carrier thingy, she would roll on wet grass like a cow. She was a bitch. And I was pregnant with Simon and got so sick on her, and that, I think, terrified me for every sailing afterwards. So I would get the nervous tummy, and I would have to get horizontal going onto the ship. It just, I don't know whether it threw out my inner ear or whatever. I used to be able to stand on the bridge wing in a storm and I would be fine until Simon came along. And now he's a naval architect, go figure. He works with boats. Yeah, my ex used to be, or he still is, he's a ferry correspondent, so, or whatever, I don't know what the hell he's doing these days, but he used to be a ferry correspondent, so we used to do an awful lot of sailings, like probably one a month. So I could sail, and I have done, and yeah, there was one notable trip as well. I think we were without kids on this one. We didn't have kids, whether I'd had babies at that stage or not. Sophie, shh, keep it down. It was the worst weather possible. At one point, I think the boat lost water underneath her. The waves were so big, and the ship went from kind of here to here, you know, in next to no time. We got down as low in the boat as we could. We actually walked down the stairs towards the car deck as far as we could, and again got horizontal. The ship took about 4 hours longer to do the sailing than it should have done on the Irish Sea, and the captain was scared shitless. Doing this, he shouldn't have sailed, and it's not the first time that, but yeah, they do insane things in crazy weathers. And then we started getting into the lee of Wales, and it eased off. But at that stage, I was fine, and then the ex was starting to go a bit green, so he was hauled out onto the deck to throw up over the side. But I didn't throw up! Yay! Yeah. It's all about managing the inner ear. But yeah, people were walking around, or you know, trying to walk on a deck that was disappearing under their feet. So you'd go and take a step, you know, here, and the deck would disappear, and yeah, it was like watching drunk people walk around. It was horrific. Plates were going flying, and everything was just going everywhere, people and crockery and everything else. It was horrible, horrible trip, and it was just like, oh god, I'm gonna die. And this is actually there's a running joke in being seasick, is you think you're gonna die, and then you wish you were going to die, and yeah, it just seems like it never ends. It's horrific. People who work at sea, I think, are bonkers, and I know a few. It's probably easier up on the bridge because it's like being in a car. You know how you get car sick? Cool. You know how you get car sick in the back of the car, and you don't tend to get car sick when you're at the front? It's a bit like that when you're on the bridge. on a ship in really rough weather, you can see the horizon, you can see everything, you tend to get less sick. Yeah, it's the same kind of phenomenon. So we will stand on the bridge with the crew, and you know, you bend your knees basically and you go up and down with the ship, but you're watching the horizon, so it keeps your ears balanced or something. Oh, it's very weird. Yeah. That's my theory, mine, and it's worked for me. But yeah, I'm a nervous sailor now.
Nana.
Thank you, Simon.
Nana.
What?
Nana.
And October, I'm kind of thinking that's not a very nice month. It's spring, so it can be a bit of a bitch, and the Bass Strait is a bitch at the best of times to cross. She's got a reputation, that stretch of water. It's, I think, the deepest stretch. No, thank you. I have a scissors. No. It's the deepest stretch of water, and it's between the mainland and here, and you've got nothing but open sea to the left and to the right of the strait. So think of it as having Australia here, and this is Tasmania. South America is somewhere out of shot, and the only other thing over that direction is New Zealand. It's not very big. So yeah, you've got a whole lot of nothing but wave coming at you into this neck of water. So it can be particularly horrendous. Which is why if you're ever into sailing and you're watching something like the Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, it's phenomenal to watch. It's in the middle of the summer here. It's basically a race from Sydney Harbour where there are colossal yachts, super yachts, which are 100 metres in length. And then there are regular yachts that also do it. And because of the handicap system, a regular yacht can actually beat the super yachts. The whole point of the super yachts doing it is for fastest first. So they do that bit of the racing, line honours they get. And then the other yachts actually have a chance to win because it's handicapped for the size of the boat that they are. And smaller boats have won the Sydney Hobart, but nobody gives a shit about who actually wins the Sydney Hobart. It's fastest across the line. But it can be spectacular in the summertime watching these coming up the channel. On the period of Christmas to New Year, so they actually set off on Boxing Day, I think Stephen's Day, 26th. They set off and they get down here while the Taste of Tasmania has been on. Now the council this year are actually whinging and sucking about having the Taste of Tasmania because of the crowds, not being able to have the crowds. So I don't know if they're doing a reduced taste or if they're actually cancelling it altogether. I can't recall what the decision was on that one. Alright. Okay, that's labels. Can you stop? She's got all of my markers and she's just dropped them all on the floor, all on purpose. She's a lovely child.
I'm gonna blow.
You're gonna blow?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna blow?
I'm gonna blow.
You're gonna get... I don't know what you're doing. Okay, now I've got to find the colours and put them into the jars. So, can you pick up the pens, please, Sophie? Oops. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do it like this. Hang on. Gotta find out a way to work this out. Okay. Because I don't want them going into the rest of the packing. Next. is not the best way to do this. I might need to employ the funnel. Alright. Move my tea. Move that there. Have a drink. And I'll start doing this on the bottom. 208. Only 2 ABs in this one. Turn it down, Sophie, or you'll lose it. I said turn it down. Sophie, turn it off. Turn it down. Last thing I need is copyright strike because of some stupid kid show. 3837. I haven't looked at the picture for a while. I'm almost surprised to see purple. Yeah, they just seem to grate that little bit. The lids on that. Okay, so you've got purple in the flowers here. Okay, we've got a motorboat. We've got, I'm not quite sure what kind of boat that is. It might be a rowing boat. We've got a canoe. It's broke. There you go. We've got the sun breaking through. We've got the fire pit, and we've got the 2 chairs around it. This is what has made me wonder if he is mixing his images up. Where Chuck, in the new painting, I don't recall the name of the image that's in this week, but the image that he's got is the houses, the 2 of them over on the right hand side. And Mindy, when she was describing what was in the picture, was saying there was a fire pit, and I'm kind of going, do all of these houses have fire pits, really? Or is it that Chuck, in his idealistic world, likes the fire pit, and he's putting them in the paintings that he's doing because, you know, artistic license and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, interesting. I don't know if it's a true location for any of his paintings, or if fire pits really are a thing in all these different places. Answers on a postcard, please. I don't know if people get to holiday in this kind of place. I mean, it's the place of dreams, really. Now, I think that's from, there's a green in this one. This is an AB, and this is orange. Well, I'm actually going to throw this on the tray and show you. This, I think, 132 is in the new Chuck Pinson as well, from memory, from just watching Mindy's unboxing. Ooh, there's another stray in there from, I think it's that one. Hang on. Yeah, see how it doesn't sit. Now this is a lemon AB. So this, the one that's meant to be in here is orange. It's pale orange. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I've just tipped out 742. It's not the same color as 742. And I've just tipped out 743. It's definitely not the color of the 743. Could be maybe 3826. I'm going to leave that out. We'll see if we can match it up with the base color. Just out of interest's sake, not for anything in particular. And that was, I could have shown you that one actually. That's the white AB. Oopsies. Focus. Now you can not feel like you're going crazy. What is that? Oh, yeah, that was from when I was tossing things around on the bag. See what I didn't want to do. Alright. Nope, too orange. 3854. I might not find the true base color. That's okay. It's just, if we could, it would be interesting. Because DAC number their ABs themselves. But if you order from the likes of Tina, she uses the true DMC color. That had one of these in there. So this I will empty out. 327. I think it's this. I'm not sure it's the same actually. And if you think about it a bit, the machines, go on, get out, that do the hopping, you know, you've seen these drills jumping around, so you know they can jump back and all that kind of thing. It's more close to that one. I'm not convinced it's correct. It could be, oh, it could be that one. Yeah. That one I'm not going to be able to match because there are no other ABs in this bag. 400. Okay, and what I've done with that is I've done a sharper angle, which means that the beads can't come flowing out quite so easily. Yep, that's that one. So 3853. trying to remember to do this steep angle, tiny hole, and hopefully less drills everywhere. Still going to happen, but look, 2 drills is a lot better than, you know, packets everywhere. Alright, and hopefully it will speed up the process. Ooh, dead drill. 550, favorite color. Alright. Where am I up to? Videos this week. I think there is there's a floss tube coming up this weekend if you want to see what's happening with all the thready, flossy stuff. I don't think I've organised Frivolous Friday yet, and I think I have finished the book I was doing. This may have been too small. Let's see, here we go. Well, I may have 2 or 3 dot to dots in the book left to go, and they were big dot to dots. So I'll finish one book completely before I move on to the other one. So yeah, not quite sure where that's going to go. I got a message, somebody was asking how I do the recording for the dot to dots and do the facts at the same time. I don't. I read the facts on a separate video and just have the video cover one another, so you get like a sound voiceover from the video, so it just marries up with the start and the finish. And I set a timer, which if you watch the Frivolous videos, you will hear my timer going off on occasions as I run out of time. Now, the one thing I find really weird, I'll set the timer for the time that I've got on my recording here, but then when I go into my processing, the timing is different. So I've got to sometimes add a few more facts in to fill out the video. It's very weird. I do not understand. But yeah, it's always a bit of fun not knowing what I'm going to talk about each week on the facts. So I'll try and keep it really simple from a Google search. The Frivolous Friday that I did last week was a 3-page dot to dot. It took me an hour. Holy cow. There was over 1,100 dots. It was huge. And trying to find where the next spot is not always easy. And if you watch one of my videos, you'll actually maybe see the jumping that I do. So I might be on the left of the page for one section, and then it jumps to the right hand side of the page for the next section. That's what this book is like. It's brilliant from the point of view of, you know, it keeps you on your toes. And so I'm constantly scanning. It's very hard to, how do you record somebody scanning visually a page? But I'm constantly scanning for clusters of the numbers that I'm looking for in the next group. So, oh, there's a thing in there. Yeah, constantly scanning through to see, you know, is the next 20 to 30 kind of thing there. Now, I've got to try and figure out which one I just put down recently, because there's a grey just got in. No, no, no. No, no. Otherwise, I've just got to get rid of it. Oh, this is annoying. That's green. Brown, no, it's more grey. Have I got to it yet? That's the other thing. No, these are burgundies. That one. No. No. P. Nope. No. Alright. It's gonna go by the wayside. That's a bit of a shame. I don't know if it's only one drill, but it's still. Anyway. Now that is, it's close, but not quite right. It's too dark. But there's a stray which might match in this one. Where are we? 900. Daddy called you. Daddy called you. I thought there was a stray in this. Maybe there's a stray in the next bag. I enjoy kitting up. I know some people say that they hate kitting up. I don't mind it. I think it suits my organization skills. I like being organized. Alright, now there are 2 in there. And so this is going to go out. Okay. Now they, oops, look like 900s. So you can see how they jump from close by. That one's not. Don't need that. And there's a couple of, they were 742s. Now then there was this one, which is a darker orange. I don't think that's right. It's not. And it's not. Oops. Close, but no. And it is that one. Oops. They won't always match. Ooh, bit of lid. They won't always match. So don't get too bogged down if they don't match. Seriously, it's only one drill, like I say, and DAC either will give you more than enough or they will send you more if you do run out. I'm not sure how things are going with the restock kind of thing. Why have I got that out? That because I was expecting oranges in there? I don't know. Oh dear. And a stray in this one. That's the blue that I just put down. Where were you? Is that you? Right. 3770. 377. There we go. Go away. Goodness. I'm going to empty this properly in a minute because I'm into the big bags now. Going to see how I go dropping. Right, there it is. Okay. take the culprit out. Oh, golly. These tweezers. Be gentle, or you'll send your drills flying. 12. Okay, where are we up to emptying the bin? I have a big bag of rubbish behind me that is actually my envelope from a diamond painting. And there's a stray one in here, which is the cream, which is 3370. Need that back. And I've just been stuffing my rubbish into that, just because I can. And yeah, it's been working out so far. Doing that method. Now, it can be fairly typical. This, there's out. I'm not sure if this is the right one. Might. Yeah, it is. If it disappears into the colors, it's usually the right color. If it stands out, you know it's the wrong one. And I know I have gone to kit up and not kit up, gone to change colors, and sometimes there's one stuck in the tray where I can't see it. It'll be stuck like on the back side or something like that, and you end up then mixing the two. Sometimes you can put them back in, sometimes you can't, which is why I like leaving the colors I've been using sticking up proud, and then Sophie comes along and tucks them all down. Child. Okay. Fourth brush. We've got 3 different colors in this. So these are not all going to fit, so I'm going to need some Ziploc bags. So let me just separate these. I've got these might be the biggest, and then we're going into small, and then we've got big ones again. Okay. I might leave them just for a second. I'll pop them to the back. I'll do the small ones first, and then I will grab my Ziploc bags that I can fold these up into, and I'll show you how I do that. So make sure I've got the right colour. I know there's a few creators out there who said they hate kitting down. I think the benefit of kitting down means it frees up some storage rather than you having to buy more storage. Oh my goodness, that's a bit of a fruit platter. What have you got, Sophie? Have you got orange? Banana? What else? Apple pear? Orange. She started speaking in sentences recently and asking questions in sentences. Like for the kid who didn't talk or talked gibberish for quite a long time, our ears are tuning to her and she's actually getting clear all of a sudden, so it's like, yay. Yeah, no, well, I knew that, but I'm kind of going to her. Sophie, I don't understand you. I'm like, please use your words. And I've got to try and record how she says things, because when she says I've got to go and get something, or I got to get, she's kind of going, I gotta get. She's all kinds of cute, but it's not gonna last. It's you know, it's like 5 syllables too many, and you know, if we lose that, we're gonna lose the memory. So I've got to try and actually capture it. Now there is a straight orange, but I don't think there's any orange left here. And that's one of those. 904. So you can see how you can get colours that aren't actually next to each other either. It's just the way that the machines are loaded. Don't stress. Don't cut your fingers either. Ooh. There was the one that it's left in, a grey. Okay, let's get these out. And of course the orange is one of the last to come out. Right, so that one is that. Get rid of that. I think that's also the beauty of the clear containers, being able to colour match reasonably easy. Not necessarily always right, but reasonably easy. Now, one of the reasons why I kind of trust my colour judgment, I've been tested when I started my current job. And I don't know if it was a correct test, but either way, I did a colourblind test, and you had to line up 30 of the colourblind, the colours between red and green. I got them perfect, but I was still nervous that they weren't quite perfect. But yeah, it was an interesting test. That's probably all I can say about that. Really interesting, and that's the right one. So yeah, look, I'm not saying I'm unusual in being able to spot tonal differences. I'm just saying I can at least trust that an optician has said my eyes are good from a tonal point of view. Even if I can't describe what the colour is, I can still see that there's a difference. Yeah. Yeah, it was literally like bottle caps like this, and what they did was they flipped the box upside down or something, shuffled them all around like a stack of cards, but they were, you know, just little chess pieces, you know, checkered pieces, and then you put them into order back in the box, and I was like, yeah, bizarre. But they gave you time. I don't know if they recorded, sorry, not recorded, if there was a time limit on doing that test or not. Yeah, interesting. Because you hear pilots have to be, you know, pilots and electricians can't be colourblind. Not entirely sure why pilots. Maybe it's because they've got traffic lights at the end of the runways. Not sure. Or maybe it's something to do with instruments. Don't know. That was always something I heard. You had to be... You couldn't be colourblind to be a pilot. Somebody please explain. Now, we are getting, hang on, up to close to the limit. So these are getting gradually bigger. So when I really get up to the top, I'm going to have to then work out how many colours I need, or how many bags I need for extras. Eek. Still got a bit of space. $7.39. Now, one of the things I don't check with Diamond Art Club is do the numbers tally up with either the inventory or quantity of colors. So this is the first time checking, are all the colors actually there? Yeah, it's just something that I haven't felt I need to do. But yeah, so if you actually, is that one? I think it is. No. Not that one. I'm not sure if it's this one. I don't think it's this one. No, it is. Yeah, so the first time I'm kitting up, I'm actually finding out whether or not all the colours are here. I don't know if you do the same or not, or if you even check your diamond art clubs. I guess it's kind of similar with DIY Moon Shop. Whoops, this is 669, not... No, this is 699. It's upside down. My bad. Right, panic. Yes, make sure your numbers are the right way around. Oop. Ouch. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that you do, checking that you've got all the colours against the inventory at the side or on your piece of paper or whatever it is you do to check, or whether you just don't bother checking at all. I always check quantity with an AliExpress kit though. I will go through the inventory, make sure I have all of the colours without exception. In fact, I have one next to me that is a gift that I need to get on and record as well. I have had 3 kits, I think, that have been short in the expected drills, or drills were wrong. I think I got a different colour for a colour. You know, it was, for instance, 231 instead of 321, that kind of difference. There may not be a 231. Anyway, you know what I mean. So yes, I have always tried to make sure I inventory an alley, because it's going to take 6 weeks for the drills to come out. Now, there was only one kit that I did that I started straight after getting it, and I ended up having to raid another kit for the spare drills because the spares hadn't arrived at the time. But that's only happened the once. Normally they seem to sit in storage for a long time. So there's plenty of time for the kit to be supplemented and the correct drills put into it. Does that make sense? Now, 310. There's a perfect example of why you can't trust the symbol. Sometimes that's a heart, okay, and on this one it's a round, it's the target. I don't know if they're using the heart in this at all, but it's a different symbol. So do not think that your drill code is going to be the same on every kit. Just be careful with that one, especially if you're going from one DAC to another. You might kind of think, oh, this is black, but you really need to double check either your inventory on the side, or the inventory, the legend on the side, or the symbol on the top that matches up with the actual DMC that you need to be placing down. Because the symbol, you might kind of think, oh, I'm looking for the target because it's 310 on Mandy Manzano, or it might be the heart on Mandy Manzano, but then it's the circle on this. And if you're working on 2 at a time, you might go, oh, I'll grab the heart, and the heart might be given to a different symbol, and you put wrong drills down. So just be careful. And you can mix your DMCs, but don't mix your icons. 779. The other thing with the DMCs, and probably what we'll find with the COVID interlude and the Chinese New Year interlude, is die lots are going to now be different. So don't be surprised if your kits from, say, last year don't match the newer kits coming out from a die lot point of view. So your colors might not be quite the same. So you might need to pack them up separately. Just keep that one in mind as well. This might be pushing it. This is quite a big bag. Let's see how this goes. It's gonna be really close. Okay. That is right up to the gunnels. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh golly, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I didn't see an orange that matched. Nope. No, nope. So, no, haven't color matched the 324s or 132s yet. 10 bags. So, I have Ziploc bags in one of these containers. I bought these. There's 100 bags in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pop the spare bags back in. Put the bits back in. I'm not going to number these, because what I'll be doing is keeping the bag in them. So you'll see in just a second how that works. That one doesn't look so full. Probably is. I'm not expecting it will fit in. From the point of view of counting, these are done by weight, so I don't know how many is in there, but I think when I put Evermoment in, it's filled up to about 2/3 of the container for an Evermoment, so that's 800 to 1,000 drills. So these take the guts of 1,500 drills. So hence me using these for some of the bigger projects that I have. And the fact that it's... I'm not going to try and squash these in. What I do now, okay, I fold it over so I can see the number. That then goes into the Ziploc bag. Now if you remember with the Ziploc bag, you just push and you've got a spout like that, but then you can open it up just as easily. So it goes into the Ziploc bag, seal it down, and that goes into the spares, which goes into the bag that I've got in the net of the storage container. My other storage that I use for a kit is the 21-day pill thing. They hold 400, I think, in a tiny container. But I have 21, so again, doing this size kit would mean 2 and a bit. It's just not an option, whereas this is 44 colours. I'm going to go for a bigger storage container dispenser kit. And Mrs. Coffee very generously gave me some Harbor Freights ages ago. I can find one of the boxes. I'm missing one of the other ones. I don't know where I've put it. I'm sure I've kitted it up because I know I've used it, but I can't think where the heck I've gone and put the thing, and whether or not it's still got drills in it or whether it's been de-kitted because I finished that kit. Yeah, I'm a little bit kind of, where did I put it? So yeah, I've got 2 Harbor Freight containers. They're awesome. Really, really love those containers. Very, very thankful to have been able to get somebody to send them across the pond to me. Because I know some people are struggling to get them in the States, and then other people have said that they're always in the stores. So yeah. So again, that goes into the spares. Right, now where are we going? 3371. There's 2 of these. So these bags are reasonably generous, but they're not. Yeah, they should be generous enough to hold a half bag. We'll give it a go. 3371. That's as near to black as you can get in the brown colours. Again, picking up drills, damp finger works quicker than anything else, almost. Sophie's using the multimeter. Dear oh dear. Okay, so we'll get that and I'll put it on the other side so that the colour is going to show on both sides. Open that up. These are not the sturdiest of Ziploc bags, so I try and be quite gentle with them. There are certainly better heavy duty Ziploc bags out there if you wanted longevity. Evermoment bags that you get in their kits are really good, but nobody seems to give enough bags for the amount of colours in their kits. Treasure Studios kit in Ziploc bags, they're good. I still have issues with how they're sending stuff out. It drives me scatty that the people ship in such poor condition. I watched Rebecca unbox the Treasure Studios and it's like, oh really? Her box was crushed to pieces because they're basically sending it in one of the thin boxes, but for some reason they put bubble wrap around the outside of the box. It's kind of like, I don't know, there's just inconsistencies. They've got an awesome toolkit, Treasure Studios, and then the quality of the shipping just lets the side down. And for what they're producing, I think they should be next level. You know, that's just my feelings. But nobody listens to me. I'm just a nobody. Yet if they nailed the shipping back when I said it over a year ago, I'd have probably been on their side so much more than I am. Because receiving a kit that's been crushed, damaged, you know, screwed up in the mail, it's not their fault that it's screwed up by the mail service, but it's their fault that they haven't shipped it in a container that can't withstand the mail service. Yeah. There's so many questions. and no answers. Anyway, and I addressed it, and I've said it again and again to the people who, you know, should be listening, and anyway, I'll move on because that's not going to get us anywhere good. Three. Right. So yeah, this is how I kit up my kit into one of these 60 storage containers. I hope you've, I don't know, picked up some tricks and tips as I'm going. If it's taking me over an hour and a half, granted I'm yapping at the same time as I'm working, and I'm probably a little bit slower, but I don't think I'm exceptionally slower than I would have been if I wasn't talking and keeping company with people. So just be aware, 44 colors, it's taking a while. I mean, okay, you don't have to do this all in one sitting, absolutely not. But don't underestimate the amount of time it takes to kit up or kit down, because kitting down takes just as long. You've got all those colors to condense. In my case, what I do is I also will amalgamate my DACs. So I will go through my DAC catalogue of colors, because I keep a catalogue of all my DMC colors. And what I will do is I will merge all my black DAC rounds together in a bag, and then I will, you know, consolidate those, you know, as I go. So then I have a collection of all the DMC colors from DAC. I don't mix my companies. I did think I was going to do that initially, and then it was like, oh no, the quality is way too different. So yeah. I think initially I was very naive when I first started. I thought, I'll put all my spares into mini mini Tic Tac containers. The Tic Tac containers are probably about this size. They're tiny, absolutely tiny. Because I didn't think there'd be that much spare left over. Holy cow! One of my first kits that I did was an Ever Moment, and the amount of leftovers from that, there was full bags, the big bags, the 800s. Still unopened because there were so many spare drills. It was insane how much you've got as leftover drills. You really could do a brand new project in some cases with the leftovers. So again, another, I suppose, newbie trick that I found when I started out that I would not have expected, you know, to have happened. I've got some people who were kind of saying, oh no, I want to go and get all 447 of the colours in the squares and in the rounds. Are you insane? That's a huge amount of storage. And when I started doing my kits, what did I do? Oh, I kept a catalogue of all the DMC colours, separate from the DAC colours, but I kept a catalogue of all of those. I think within 20 kits, I had nearly every single round colour that I ever would need. I had nearly every colour in the 447 catalogue. And I'm probably a bit further off in the square, surprisingly. I'm further off in the square now. It could be because I got more DAC rounds than I do square, because most of my Ali purchases I think are square. But I've got, you know, nearly a full 447 in the square as well. You know, within 20-30 kits. So yes, you can absolutely go out and you can buy all 447, one bag of each. They're not cheap, even on Ali. I think Hankins sell them if you're really desperate to get all the colours. But yeah, I don't think you need them. I think it's just one of those purchases that sounds like a good idea, but in reality, you don't actually need it. But that's a kind of hindsight experience thing. Look, some people may have used them. I certainly haven't. I've raided other kits and then got Ali to ship me the missing colours, but I've got them to fill the gaps. I've not had to fill the gaps from my own, because again, dye lots and quality and things like that. So yeah, that was just my thinking. Alright, this now goes in the bin. That can be put away, and that, my drawers are over here. I've actually got, my crazy husband 3D printed me drawers, and I've got DAC drills in one of the drawers. They're good drills, but I couldn't match them up, so I may get around to matching them up at some stage. Okie dokie, I've got a spare bag, because I may have counted wrong. So that goes back in. Stainless tubs are awesome. This is just a 3.5 for things like the washi tapes and other bits and pieces. Put that in the bin. I'll tidy that up in just a second, but you know, there you go. You've got your spares in here, leftovers, not leftovers, they're spares. So they will get folded up and put in. The index card that I use, interesting, has been yellowing in the sunlight. Interesting. I've got all the details, so it's a 74 by 55, it's round, it's 44 colours, 2 ABs, it's got the name, Space for Reflection, Chuck Pinson DAC, just identifying it. That will stay in this kit. The Space for Reflection sticker had been sitting in my folder, my round folder with my index sheets. That can now go in with this as well as a bit of an identification thing. And what I added this morning, I'll just set this so I can prop it up, is this. This is stone paper. Stone paper actually feels like plastic. It doesn't tear like wood paper. It was just a notebook I had for my kids that I've put recipes into. So I basically labelled all these so I don't have to keep opening each of the bags and going, what the hell is in this bag? I can't remember, because I can never remember what colour goes with which thing. So this is going to be my Space for Reflection. This is going away until next week. Space for Reflection is here. Oopsies. This has been crumpled on the couch, literally. This has been stored flat in my work space with the rest of the canvases. So yeah, too wide to work on. I will just about fit across the desk widthwise. I will roll it up in between, and it will, I'll show you in just a second. It will go in this. Now this is a bit battered and broken, but it's a packing tube that is a damn sight better than just having it loose. It will go the other way around. It won't go canvas out. And I've got it labelled Birch Waterfall just because that was one of my Huacan kits that I had back in the day. That was my working it was my working tube for the Birch Waterfall when I first started it, and I think then I may have had to move it because I had two lots of rolls. So that is where my canvas goes. I've got a box over here that has all my whips in, and yeah, it's just a case of grabbing. I've got 6 of these on the go, which is too many, but it is what it is. As I say, the Chuck Pinson Colors of Life from Dreamer Design. That's a slow road because of the canvas print quality being what it is, which is frankly just disappointing. They can actually go into that container that I have. These are sealed, so they're just going to go back where they were. Dryer sheet, 3D print, and look, it's a sheet. It's a very small sheet. That can also go into storage. Alright, didn't have any static in those drills, which was quite nice. And Sophie lost the lid of my wax of that one, so I've got to figure out where that is. So that will go into here along with the rest of my multi-placers. Sorry, so what I was saying, yeah, the Colors of Life, because of the quality of the print on the on the whites, with a white print on Dreamer Designs, it's quite difficult to see the white print, so it's hard work. So what I do is I have a spreadsheet open on my computer showing me the schematic, just to double check with the canvas that I've got the right color going down the section. So it's a lot of a slower process and it's not quite as fun. The black ones are fine, it's just the white ones tend to have bled and be less focused. It's the kind of canvas that they're printing on, because it's so woven, it just doesn't give that crisp print on the white ink. And again, another company that don't really listen when you say, hey, you've got a problem, fix it. This is 2.0 and they still have the same problems I think that they had in 1.0. So yeah, I think it's just a bit poor of companies when they're told, hey, there are solutions here, and they don't listen. Think they know better or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, because your consumers, your crafters are not stupid. They'll just stop spending, and you know, you might get one more purchase out of some people, but you're not going to continue getting purchases. Whereas you go to something like DAC and you go, hey DAC, you've got a problem with this. They'll go, oh yeah, we'll fix it. Which means that you go back and you continue to purchase, which means that you've got a loyal customer. And that means more. And then you tell your friends, hey, DAC are really good. So then you've got another brand new customer. That kind of thing. So, you know, rather than going, yeah, don't like that, and then I'll tell my friends, don't like that, don't buy there. It's how Huracan got their bad reputation. It's how other companies get bad reps. Rachel very recently put in the Crafters Anonymous group how one of the new companies had taken some of JoJo's art with the stag and fawn, and they'd superimposed it onto a country scene, but it's JoJo's art that they've, you know, plagiarized, bastardized, or whatever. You know, and it's kind of like, that's not on, which means that everyone in the group, all however many thousand of us in the group, are all kind of going, not going to go there. You've gone and lost potential customers. Whereas they kind of go, Diamond Art Club, DIY Moon Shop, Star Roar, you know, will all support licensed artists' work. Dreamer Designs do as well, but you've got the quality issue. You know, so they will promote the people who have the licensed artwork and not promote the people who don't, and you know, you lose business. Same with Evermoment. I was really disappointed with Evermoment. A lot of their artwork is stolen images. You've got to be either really careful what you pick. I addressed it with somebody in the mystery paintings, and I said, hey, you know, love the Dragonlings, would love to see how that picture that you've got compares with DAC Dragonlings. Does it, you know, how good a job are Evermoment actually doing? And my comment got deleted. They responded and then it got deleted before I got a chance to see what the response was. But the fact that my comment got deleted, I take it that it was pretty scathing in response. And it's kind of like, I know it was a gift. I know somebody bought it and they probably didn't realize it was stolen licensed images. But it still doesn't excuse the educating for the future. And you know, being able to take some criticism, I suppose, when it's not, and it wasn't meant to be, hey, you've got stolen licensed artwork. It was just like, hey, it would be really nice to see how that actually compares with a licensed image and how good a job DAC might be doing with it. That was the point that I made, and it didn't seem to translate for whatever reason. Anyway, alright, I'll let you go. It's been ages. And I am kitted up, and it will be going away, and I will see how my back is when I get up. I'm quite okay sitting, but when I get up to move, I'm due for pain pills. So yeah, take some more pills, and yeah, crack on with whatever else is happening the rest of the day. Alright, take care of yourselves, please, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.